What's going on, everybody? Jason over at Adventure Ready Off Grid. Got the beautiful hum of the generator in the background. Hope you guys can hear me. Just a little progress update on the tiny house. Drying her in. 737 days in. Feels like it. I love being out here, but man, this is definitely moving slow. So, there she is, though. We are technically by wood dried in. Got a little spot I got to shave on the top. I overlapped a little bit, and it was nighttime, and I didn't feel like going up through the saw. Did this a little different. Had these eaves already cut before I finished the wood, then finished the wood and realized that they're going to be a little tight, so I might go back with a 2x4 on the side rather than a 2x6. I'm not ssure. I'm not really worried about aesthetics. I just want it to be dry and functional and enough room for a gutter to go on there. Eaves came out nice, but like I said, this corner's off. It's like dropped down and got a little triangle thing, and I don't know, I've never made one that funky before, but it is what it is. It's also a pretty severe pitch on the roof, so like I said, I got to shave that little top part right there. Got obviously could cut that off. I did that last night as well. We had like 40-50 mile an hour winds, it felt like out here. It may have been less, but it sure felt like it was about there. I was on, luckily, the opposite side of the roof. The wind comes from this valley right here, all the way up and through, right through the fire ring, which sucks. Tried to do a fire last night, we had to put it out. And then bam, right in the side of this. So anyway, we were dried in. If it was to rain last night, we'd probably get a little sprinkle on us, but nothing crazy. And today I'm doing the wrap on the roof right now, getting ready to. All the wrap material I got up there, the moisture barrier material I bought for that, like some sort of a, they have a couple different companies that make that. I can't remember which one I bought. Anyway, it was just about 70 bucks for a roll to do this side and that side from what it says in the square footage. So that's just for moisture barrier. I'm doing obviously ply with, you know, full rafters underneath there. And now I'm gonna come back and do metal all the way down with a nice little ridge cap thing in metal as well, and go from there. And the reason we're doing the metal is just so we can catch the water. Otherwise, you know, composite, you can do things like that. I've never done a metal roof, to be honest, so this will be the first one. It was a little pricey. I did not price it out real well, so I went with the Lowe's stuff they had on the shelf, as opposed to having it kind of pre-cut, or you know, maybe a couple sheets where it'd be quicker. I'm not sure how wide they make that. I think my stuff's like 3 foot wide, so I had to go several pieces to make it work. Get your perspective from down here. So yeah, you can see it's pretty good peak on this thing. I got a little trimming, like I said, to do at the top. You can see kind of peeking out there. I got a little edges on here too. I got to trim off as well, and then trim off this eave over here, trim off that eave. I did those last night. And then the fascia board on this side is done, although I don't necessarily love the look of it. I'm okay. And then the one on this side, I haven't started. I didn't even cut the angles out, you know, the 90s or whatever, 45s out of that. So I have them marked, you can see right there, but I need to line them up with this and then cut them, and then I'll pull those boards back off the bottom ones and redo that section. So I'll get you a better perspective maybe from down here, around here. For those of you who are not aware of the channel, we started this back in July. We bought 40 acres of raw property out in northern Arizona. We put in this driveway, which snakes its way down over that direction. It's about 300 yards. We put in a little area here to park our trailer in the future. I will put a little pony wall up here, like an L shape of like dog-eared fence, because the wind gets pretty gnarly, and we plan on putting our toy hauler there just to protect it from the elements. And then also we'll probably live in that for a little bit while we get on the property. The boys may want to camp out in the tiny house here. That's what this is designed for. I'll probably use the trailer, and then we'll use this tiny house as a workshop, little shed thing down the road. So we're kind of changing this up over here too, where the boys are at right now. I'll come over to. Sorry about the wind, guys, it's probably horrible. But we'll be putting the water tank right through there. We're trying to clear that area out. The water tank is what you see over there. It's 1,100 gallons. So that'll be primarily for whatever we use over here, like a standalone shower, a sink inside here. Once we get septic, we'll go to a regular toilet in here, but we'll do composting toilet to start. And we'll put the water tank over here and clear this area out. We're gonna make a little square apron right here, a little border with like a, you know, just treated 2x4s, and then fill it in with some rocks so it's nice and level, and then put the water tank right in this area. Coffee break, how's it going?
Good.
How's coffee break going, Brad?
Very good.
this is an all-day coffee day. You see those clouds coming in, so it's nice and cool. But we made this into a temporary cooking station out here because basically we're behind one of the only wind blocks we have that's solid. So I just put the stove and cook breakfast over here, and we're doing a couple hour into the day coffee break because it's just cold and it feels right. So, but yeah, so I still got to do the fascia board like I said over here. I have to cut those back, those bottom pieces, 1, 2, 3. Those are all probably have to come back off today to cut those the eaves. To cut that angle right here, so you see the line already kind of made out, boom, and then we'll trim all that back. I was considering leaving it like that for this trip. I may, because I'm going to start on the other side of the roof and I'm really going to get this stuff done. Got a little wonk in here that's a little lower than that, and then I got a high one like right about there or something like that, same, almost exactly the same on the other side, so maybe a measurement's off. I know our ridge beam was crazy crooked. I mean, it was one of 3 boards available in the whole town between 2 stores. So I got the best of the 3, and it still wouldn't be my first choice, let's put it that way. So yeah, so we're gonna do an exterior ply on this thing, or like, you know, exterior, it's gonna be actually true wood. I don't know if you guys anyone's used that before. They do it out of OSB as well. The true wood, just a composite type of a press board type of thing. I've used it before in snow and had really good results with it. So that's the reason I went with that as opposed to going with the OSB back. It was 33 bucks a sheet, which is like giving it away nowadays because everything else is like 60 bucks, 45 to 65. It's crazy. But so yeah, this will all be completely covered in that true wood. We'll do a little border across there to, you know, hide that seam. We'll border out that to make it nice and pretty. We'll do the corners. We'll frame around the door. We plan on putting, most likely, I was thinking the other day, probably a window either here or there. We'll definitely do a window, a large window, probably in the corner here. I don't think it'll be centered. I think we'll do it in the corner to leave space back there for like cabinets and something. I think I'm gonna do the kitchen back there, most likely. And I'm gonna do the wood burning stove on that corner or the far corner inside the building. So, and we're also doing a deck. There'll be a deck coming off of here, probably a good 10, maybe even 12 feet. I wanna make it pretty big, overlook these little trees, and just have a cool view. We'll do our barbecue and stuff up there. Obviously the wind will kind of suck from that area, but it is what it is. If I have to, I'll case in, like, you know, I'll frame it out like a banister, like a rail, where we call that, handrail type of thing. And if I have to, I'll enclose it. I did it on my last house because it got too much wind and snow up in there. So, and then I'll do a little 5-footer off of this with an overhang off that separation, coming off solid roof, just so you have like out of the elements if it's raining, something coming in your house and you can leave your shoes outside, that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, and then the inside, I'll show you a little quick review. There's not much going. Fully furnished cabin, get ready. So this is the inside. It might get a little dark in here. Used a little buddy heater last night. Oh my God, a lifesaver right there. But I still have gaps up in here. I did not fill. I showed in my last video. I should have put those in before I put the bird's mouse and the rafters in, but I didn't. And I don't know why I overlooked that. I was just trying to crank, and it is what it is. So we just laid our cots out in here. This is a 12-foot wide by 16-foot depth. Pretty good sized little area. We won't be sleeping down here in the future. The idea is I was gonna do the back, but I think I'm gonna do the front now and do a full 8-foot loft from here forward. You see where this ply kind of ends right here, actually, on this board. So it'll go right to here from the back. So it'll be 8 foot all the way across for sleeping up there. And then the back side here, I may end up removing a rafter or moving that rafter one behind just for a little more gap and then use that as storage. So hard to see in this tiny spot, I know. This is 12 by 16. I guess it's not super tiny, but it's not super big either. But this will be efficient. Instead, if you put 2 people up there sleeping, and there's, you know, little charging ports for their phones, so everyone needs all that stuff, and all their little amenities up there. Have my 2 boys up there have, I was thinking about a Murphy bed. Would be really cool. I've been looking online, people make them all the time, so I was trying to think maybe I could make a Murphy bed. I think it'd be neat to have a Murphy bed right off this wall, just pull down. If not, I mean, I caught it, I do it simple, I'm not real fancy. But yeah, we'll put a couple of nice mattresses up there, get that all set up. We will insulate the roof on the next visit, not this visit. I have a bunch of cracks and seams where plywood just didn't match up like I was hoping, or didn't butt up real clean because of angles and whatnot. So I'll fill all those in today. Fill in this top area before we leave. Got some holes where some stuff just didn't line up, or I think from the tarp, maybe I put over top of it. I still have some gaps across there. Have a gap where the plywood splits going vertical on the top, both sides. So I'll take care of those as well. And like I said, we'll wrap this once it's closed. Pretty good size. Got a lockable door, so that's kind of cool. Got that in on the last trip, steel door. That's our light for now. So, like I said, I'm not planning on making this into one of those fancy tiny homes you see on TV or on social media. It's not gonna have Corian cabinets or countertops or marble tile or anything like that. We will do like some sort of a basic wood laminate type, piece by piece floor, real simple. Put that in just for wear and tear. I'm thinking about going corrugated metal around the walls, and then put a trim piece, and then put like a finished light, like maybe like a mahogany luan or something like that on the top, so it'll be very rustic looking. And the idea also, this will eventually become my little tiny workshop for projects. So I really don't want this thing to be, all hoity-toity and fancy and upper fancy looking. That's not my thing. So, and then these kind of lights, I'll probably have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those in here. And then if I make a workbench, which I normally do, it'll shop, I'll put a, like a workbench with a workbench light over it. And the workbench, I'm just gonna use like the Home Depot countertop things you can go buy that are already preset. So that's our lumber yard. I didn't know if the weather's gonna come in too hard. You see it's got some pretty good clouds. We're rumored to maybe some showers tonight, so I'm hoping I get some more of this aluminum on, but we're already at 11 o'clock in the morning here, and we're not even close to getting the sheet on yet. So we'll see. Worst case scenario, I got a gigantic tarp, bam, right there. I'll throw that on there and make that happen if I have to, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I just want to give you guys a little update. We are technically dried in, but we would have some spots that would not necessarily be dry if it were to, let's say, rain. So dried in, dry being the loose word. But I think we'll have this all, I think I can get the metal on today, the ridge beam on today. That's gonna be my focus for the next 4 or 5 hours. That's what I'm gonna work on. And this can be done tomorrow in any type of weather. So I think we're gonna focus on the roof. The boys right now are going around and just focusing on screws that I had a couple broken bits last time I was out here, and I was trying to just make it work. And so some of these screws, when I put them in, didn't seat like that. Well, that one needs to come out, but like where I had the tarp, they went in like that where they were sticking out, and you can't really put, like this one's kind of borderline. They got in there. Some of them didn't even get that deep. They were barely in. So I have the boys go around and pull the ones, and I got a couple of areas where I need more screws. So I was just trying to get out of here last time. I can get this close to dried in. But yeah, so they're just doing some miscellaneous stuff on that, and we'll get that figured out today. They'll be doing kind of footwork on that stuff while I'm doing up in the air work, and then we'll go from there. Right on, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You have any questions about stuff? I don't do tutorials on this kind of stuff. I'm not a professional, obviously. I know what I know from just past experiences, what I built and what's worked. I also watch a lot of YouTube. I mean, there's some people on there. Bush Radical is one I'll reference. I think his name's Dave over there. His wife, I think her name's Brooke, and I think there's a girl in the wild, I believe. But Bush Radical, I know for sure. Awesome tips on building, man. If you want simplicity, if you want to kind of just realize, holy crap, I need to go do this myself. I think Dave's method and his talk and his narration and his building style is probably the most inspirational. I haven't really changed my building styles from watching him. It just inspired me to kind of just keep pushing forward and just go build it, man. Build it yourself. There's no reason to buy every damn thing we buy. We're just massive consumers. I mean, I'm buying this stuff to make something, but it's a lot cheaper to build it yourself. I mean, this is a little 12 by 16. You can technically live the rest of your life in this, I want a little more space than that, and I have a little more things I want to, collect around the house of my consumerism. But so I'll build something about, I'm doing 24 by 40 for the main building. So, but like I said, Bush Radical is a good one to see how someone builds simple, easy and inspirational, and really good with narration and just showing you everything. Another one is Kyle's Cabin. Those are probably my two favorite. Kyle's Cabin, young guy, just built himself, I think, maybe he was about 24 by 40, pretty close to the footprint I'm gonna make, and it's something I already planned. I saw his channel, I was really blown away. I'm going, okay, that's what I want to do. Cool. I'm watching someone do it. All the more power to go out and do it myself. I've seen that it's very possible. So Kyle's Cabin, Bush Radical, and I think, like I said, I think a Girl in the Wild, I believe, is Dave's wife, and I think she does a lot of build on hers as well, and they do some collaboration build, obviously being husband and wife. They do some really cool stuff. But yeah, Kyle's Cabin, Girl in the Wild, Bush Radical, check those out. And if you have any questions I was getting to on mine, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll answer everything I can. I'm not a big shot right now by any stretch of the imagination. I don't plan to be one. We're doing this to document our progress. So I try to get back to everyone. So if you ask a question on there, I try to get back to you. If I have technical data, I'll give it to you. If I just kind of winged it, I'll just tell you straight up, hey man, I winged that. Best of luck. So I'm no tutor when it comes to building. I'll figure anything out, but I can't say that it'll pass every OSHA approval or EPA restriction or government shakedown. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, take care.